Time for my sponsor.
Yeah, oh my god, guys, shake it up. Shake it up, shake it up.
It's actually my last one, so V8, email me.
Yep, Shayne's done drinking V8 after today, unless you email him. So get on that.
I've tried this 23 other times. This is the one.
We no longer have in our name, so you can safely sponsor us now. Yeah, so before we get started, everyone, our name is no longer. We'll do it live.
Yeah, people don't like that, I guess.
It's not people. It's more like corporations don't like it.
Yeah, I'm sure they've never heard a swear word.
Yeah, no, they don't swear. They're
Let alone a censored one.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So anyway, it is now ruining movies, which I think is funny. I don't actually, for everyone in the audience, I don't think we're actually ruining movies. It's very tongue-in-cheek. Just so you guys are all aware, if you're new here, we're not going to be here and talk shit about Train to Busan. We're probably going to actually talk about how amazed fanboy over it for like 30 minutes, and then you guys are going to make us ruin it by making it like a musical or something. Yeah. So
Train to Busan the musical.
Right. But anyway, let's get into this. Hello. Welcome, everyone. This podcast,
Hi.
I sound very robotic. This podcast is ruining movies.
And it's brought to you by V8.
Brought to you by V8, quote unquote V8, the engine, not the drink. But anyway, hello, welcome, everyone. This is Ruining Movies. I am one of your hosts, Zach. The other host is Shayne, right? He's there across the interwebs.
I'm Shayne. Hi, everyone.
Yes, hello. For those who are new here, it is called Ruining Movies because every week we watch a movie of the week. Usually it is a movie that is beloved to us, that we talk very highly about it, and then at the end of the episode, the last part of it, the audience decides what kind of remake we have to make of the movie. So last week we did Color Out of Space. The audience or the dice voted, and we had to recreate Color Out of Space, but as a Western. So, which was I'm actually writing a short story about that right now. Yeah, there's going to be
you that are going to be ruining the movies. We're just going to put the text behind it.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so this week we're going to talk about Train to Busan, the Korean horror zombie movie, one of the best. Honestly, it is. I can honestly say it is one of the best zombie movies.
I think it is the best zombie media I have ever consumed. It's on camera now.
Yeah, that's fair.
By that until something beats it.
I think Dawn of the Dead still beats it for me, just because it started everything, and it's one of my favorite movies. But I do think Train to Busan is equal to it. It's not like Dawn of the Dead is better than it. It's like they're equal. But before we get into that, because I feel like we're gonna be talking about a lot of zombies, I have a lot of things to say. I know Shayne has a lot of things to say. Let's talk about movie and television news this week. Shayne, anything you want to talk about up front?
So many things happened, I feel like, this week. Maybe it didn't happen, but that I just know about and that are interesting to me. We could just umbrella topic Tom Holland if you want, because that dude's had a fucking... Well, everyone else has been suffering. Tom Holland has just had like a banger of a year.
I forgot that even news came out about like all the stuff that came out of. First, we got the new Spider-Man name, No Way Home.
Sounds like it's gonna be cool. I mean, based on the title and the fact that the cast all seems very hype about it. That makes me very happy.
Absolutely, we have some throwbacks to the Sam Raimi Spider-Man, so I'm very excited about that. Well, actually, it is Spider-Man. There's only one Spider-Man in that trilogy. But you know what I mean. Also, we kind of got some more news on Uncharted?
Tune me in, because that wasn't even on my radar.
Oh, so the article I read was Tom Holland just saying that he learned a lot from shooting Uncharted, because it was more like a deep dive on like acting and stuff. Him saying that it doesn't sound like he was too happy with his performance, just because he was so not self-centered, but so worried about looking badass as Nathan Drake. Like in all the shots, he kept thinking, "Am I looking sweet and stuff?" Which he said is not the greatest way to act, which is it's
Do
true.
I look cool enough?
Yeah, exactly. Which I really like Tom Holland, how he doesn't shut up ever, like in a good way. He spoils so much stuff, and like I can't think of any actors who would like film a movie and then be like, wow, I think I didn't do the best I could. I think that's very admirable of him. I like him as an actor.
He's a cool guy. He's a stand-up guy. He's incredibly talented, obviously.
Yeah.
And good on him for owning his shit, you know?
Absolutely.
But yeah, I was actually looking at Chaos Rising, which the trailers for that are super, like, obscure and seem weird, and I don't really know what to expect from it, and that kind of makes me excited.
Even know what that is. I haven't heard of it.
And then there's another movie that came out, apparently. It's on Apple TV, so hopefully I can rent it on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Push Prime button if you haven't already. It's called Cherry. It looks very interesting. The trailer
I think I've heard of that. Yeah.
Also incredibly like vague, but it looks pretty cool. There was like a scene of a bank robbery. Tom Holland looks all sad and dramatic, and yeah, I mean, like I said, that guy obviously is just his career
killing
is just fucking catapulting to the moon.
I mean, yeah, he's honestly he's in so much stuff, and like, but like I said, I like him and stuff.
It's actually the reason for my movie pick.
Ooh, I'm excited. I'm trying to see who I've not seen anything about Chaos Walking. This is news to me, so I'm looking at it real quick.
Chaos Rising, I think is what it's called.
It's Chaos Walking. Chaos Rising is a Warhammer thing, which really confused me. I was like, wait, is he in a Warhammer movie?
Yeah, Chaos Walking.
But looks cool. Who's directing it? We have...
Interesting. Synopsis sounds good. Yeah, it's got a bunch of people in it. Nick Jonas, Mads Mikkelsen.
Yeah, we got Daisy Ridley. Yeah. Yeah, we got a lot of people. All right, Doug Liman. He directed Swingers. So interesting. So I'm not saying Swingers is a bad movie. I don't think that at all. I think Swingers is actually pretty okay. He also directed The Bourne Identity, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. So he directed a lot of like 2000 action movies. Swinger. It has Vince Vaughn in it, Jon Favreau. It's kind of like Jon Favreau's big break. There's what's the quote? There's like a really big quote from Swingers. I don't know how it holds up. It has the poster is like Vince Vaughn holding a cocktail, and it's it's a 2000. It's like a late 90s 2000 comedy. Yeah.
Very Bad Things.
I don't think so. Let me see.
Also has Jon Favreau in it, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Very Bad Things. I don't think I've ever seen this.
Doing the Kevin Bacon 7. This is a cool movie. Anyway, this is the only reason I talked about him is because of Jon Favreau, who also his career has catapulted in the last 20 years as well.
Right, because of the MCU.
Well, amongst other things, he's really into food. He made that Chef movie.
Chef is honestly one of the one of my favorite movies of the last 15 years. Like, he is so good in it, and I know he directed it. It was really good.
He's also a fantastic actor. On top of that,
yeah,
so
yeah. I mean,
he's
agree.
Yeah, he's done a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Very Bad Things is hilarious. Anyway, so yeah, Tom Holland was like at the forefront of my mind because of those movies. And then Coming to America.
Is Tom Holland in that?
No,
oh, so like, wait, Tom Holland. Tom Holland's in Coming to America? What the fuck? Why? Like, he's popping up, but why is he that? Oh.
No, but that is coming out on Friday.
I didn't know it was coming out that soon. Hell yeah. So we will be able to tell you guys next week if it was good or bad.
True. The trailer dropped.
I'm hoping it's good.
Excited. I checked out.
The trailer did look good, yeah.
Cast. It is like all of the original cast, which is really, really exciting. It'll be exciting to see James Earl Jones on camera.
Yeah. So, I'm excited. Yeah. I didn't know it was coming out this soon. That is exciting.
Yeah, I had heard tell that this might be a thing like a few months ago, and then all of a sudden now it's gonna drop.
Yeah, movies are real weird during the pandemic because you'll like I for some reason thought the Black Widow movie came out like a year and a half ago, and I just never saw it because I wasn't that interested in it. But I guess it never came out.
Yeah, no, they never released it. But they released Mulan, which, well, you know what? This is a conversation for another time, maybe.
No, I just don't like Disney. Disney live action sucks. Disney sucks.
Dude, Mulan was an atrocity.
I'm not. Yeah.
Anyway, Black Widow, like, I feel so bad for that movie because it was gonna be really cool, and I still think it can do cool things for what's going on.
Yeah.
But now that all this new shit's coming out with stuff that's going on in like the present day of the MCU, I really don't. My interest has fallen off a bit on the old flashback.
Yeah. I mean, the only reason I was ever interested in it is because I like Taskmaster.
Yeah, that's true. I think it's going to introduce Taskmaster and White Widow, which, I'm sure she will be involved in this upcoming phase in some way.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it has some potential, but.
Talking about MCU, we're going to have a big week next week with Coming to America coming out, and also the last episode of WandaVision is dropping this Thursday.
And they have Falcon Winter Soldier comes out.
Yeah, they have a lot of things they have to wrap up.
Yeah, this is going to be a big one. This is going to be a banger.
It's going to be a big one. I actually am kind of worried that they won't be able to wrap it all up in 40 minutes. I feel like they're
even going to try. You think it's going to be like an hour and a half?
If the run times have already been kind of leaked, and I don't think it's going to an hour. I think because they said overall, like, it would all together be like 8 hours, and we're getting kind of close to that. I don't know. I think it'll be interesting. I think the last episode was good. I liked it.
Yeah, the last episode was really, really cool. Some big things going on. I'm excited to see this.
We'll see. We have White Vision. Talking about White Widow, we have White Vision. I think that's going to bring Ultron back. Spoilers, I guess. Everyone, spoilers. We're talking about the last episode. Spoilers.
Ruining movies.
We're ruining movies. We're ruining everyone's experience.
Ruin everything. If you come here, be ready for big news, big spoilers.
Just hate us by the end of it. But yeah, we have White Vision. So I think White Vision and Vision are going to merge, and we're going to get Vision back in the MCU. If we're doing hot takes, Mephisto. I know how to say it now. That's the hot take of that.
Mephisto?
Yeah, Mephisto, whatever the fuck his name is. I don't think he's gonna show up. Or he is, I don't know. We kind of learned a little bit more about Agatha. I know a lot of people loved last episode, and I liked it, but I don't know. I'm kind of. I think this is gonna be a weird take because I still like the show, but I think as soon as they got turned away from the whole sitcom gimmick, it just kind of feels like I'm every other Marvel movie now, which this is a personal take. I don't think the WandaVision's bad at all. It just, ever since we've lost that whole sitcom gimmick, I've kind of become less interested.
Yeah, I mean, I could understand where you're coming from, but I'm glued.
Right. Like, I'm still gonna watch it, but like kind of when I talked about when the WandaVision first came out, I really was enjoying the experimental kind of feel to it, like doing the sitcom. Like, I am excited. I will watch it, and I'll geek out because I'm a comic book lover and all this stuff. Oh, look, they're doing the whole Vision merging arc. We might get Ultron back. This is gonna set up the MCU and stuff. But like, I don't know. I'm just not as excited as like I was like, oh, I can't wait to see how they're gonna change up filming and stuff now. But we'll see. Maybe next week will just blow my mind. But we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. I really liked the episode. I thought it was a lot of fun.
Right.
It's like her kind of delving into her memories and watching her go through some shit, and also like getting to put a face to a name, I guess, if you will, but like some visuals to Pietro and her story from the second movie. That was cool. But I will say it was kind of deflating now knowing that Agatha was the cause of this recasting of Pietro.
Yeah.
Although, I guess you could still make some connections because they did. intentionally choose the same actor.
Right. So to go off on that, like I know a lot of people online are now like, oh, this was an Easter egg for the fans. I think that's a bad thing if like you just put him in as an Easter egg because of the implications. Like you're building this whole thing. I mean, yeah, not the, God damn it, because of the dentist system, obviously. But no, but because like if you put in an actor already playing that, it's confusing. First of all, the Easter egg is, I don't know. I am kind of disappointed that if they just pulled. I mean,
I hope that's not the case.
That's the thing. I hope it's not the case. We can only really speculate right now, but like something like that should have a bigger impact than just being an Easter egg. That just feels very fan servicey when it could be very more impactful than it actually is, which would suck.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The implication. No, honestly though, it seems as though it was like this. I can't. His name escapes me right now. The actor.
I can't remember. Anyway, Evan Peters, Peter Evans.
Evan Peters, yeah.
Two first names.
Like, them choosing him, them choosing Evan Peters to play this role specifically is just like, it's such a stretch.
Right. Right, that's the thing, like, that's why,
But it's like, I don't think that, I think it was made with intention.
Right, I hope they did it with intention. I hopefully we get, like, oh, he was pulled from that, especially because you're doing a bunch of multiverse things, like.
And, like, that's kind of where my head's at, because, like, perhaps Agatha is just pulling from other sources because she can. Like,
right. And this is kind of something that Marvel has done in the past, which I've always not liked, is like they are very good at like being like, all right, this is a story we need to get to this point, but like they've also had it like the beginnings, like we saw the Infinity Gauntlet in like Thor.
And
then we had to retcon it way down, being like, oh no, that wasn't the Infinity Gauntlet. Like, I hope that this Evan Peters Quicksilver thing doesn't become that, being like, oh look, multiverse, there's X-Men now. Oh, that was just the accident.
10 years from now, whoopsies.
Yeah,
bring in a new Quicksilver.
But again, this is all speculation. I could look like an asshole next week when it could be actually have implications. But we'll see. It's the big episode.
Even in the post credit.
Right. Like, but then like the Funko Pop came out and there was like quotations around it, and it's like, okay, like his name had Pedro Maximoff had like quotations around it, like, ooh, it's like, okay, I don't know, we'll see. We'll talk about it next week. Obviously, we're gonna talk about the end of it next week. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, but I'm excited for it. Like I said, all the stuff I said about it wasn't me being like, oh, the show sucks, I'm not enjoying it. I thought the first half was stronger, and I'm excited to see how they end it. Yeah. Any other MCU stuff we have on the docket? I can't really think of anything.
Falcon and Winter Soldier is upcoming very, very soon. I think it's like the week after WandaVision ends.
Yeah, I think they're kind of doing back to back with that thing.
And I'm very excited about that. Also, we never discussed like the Loki trailer or anything when that was a thing, but it's fine. That's also going to be
coming out like in June. I'm excited. I mean, that's probably the show I'm most really excited for.
Yeah, I mean, I'm real biased because I really like Tom Hiddleston.
Right, he's a good actor. I like him too. And Loki's a fantastic character.
Yeah, Loki's really awesome.
It kind of seems like they're doing the Umbrella Academy thing. Like, I'm getting kind of Umbrella Academy vibes from it, which is a good thing.
Yeah, and anything that involves cosmic levels.
Oh, wow. Oh, I thought you were going to say Owen Wilson.
Owen Wilson? No, I mean, I do like Owen Wilson. I do love me some Owen Wilson.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
No, but, like, now that the MCU has sort of, transcended the material planes. They've moved into like Asgard and stuff, and they are dealing with cosmic forces. Things are bigger, they're badder, and you get to have cool stories about Loki and Thor and these big time guys. It's nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's all I have to say about these.
Yeah, I think we got some like Eternals art. I like, we've seen like the Eternals fucking teasers for the last like 5 years, it feels like. So until I get a trailer, I don't really care.
I think that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is like all canon, right?
Dude, I don't know anymore. Like, I think so, but like, I don't know if Inhumans is, but like, Inhumans played a role in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And like, so I don't know.
Bad.
Yeah.
Bad.
Inhumans, I heard, was just awful.
I did not watch it.
I didn't watch it either because I heard it was just awful.
And Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I've heard is real good, but
I heard some seasons kind of suck, but I heard, yeah, it's good.
But I just recently learned all that stuff about Ghost Rider and Absorbing Man is in it, and like some other cool stuff. So,
yeah, that's kind of just that's how I feel about all Marvel stuff until I see it.
Yeah, and like I feel like I want to watch like this show because at some point or another, like the blip happens, right? The snap.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's included in the show, because if it is, all the questions will be answered.
I don't know. It's kind of exhausting how much Marvel stuff there is.
True.
Because I guess we're gonna stay in Marvel for a little bit longer. I was kind of thinking about it, like, people who aren't familiar kind of with the MCU, like watching WandaVision kind of feels weird. I feel like it would feel weird.
Yeah. I mean, they do a good job of like connecting the dots and doing flashbacks and stuff, but it's still like, it's a lot.
Right. I feel like it would be confusing.
All of that would require so much exposition.
Exactly. And it just kind of brought me to more like an existential like thought. Like, I've always kind of felt weird about like movies, kind of like the whole MCU, like you have to like kind of do homework to watch a movie and to get the full enjoyment. I kind of like the idea of like movies standing on their own and television standing, but like that's not the MCU. That's like not the purpose of the MCU. Because the MCU is, everything is connected, but I can see like how it's exhausting if you didn't watch anything, or like not exhausting, but just confusing.
Or like less gripping.
Yeah, and my whole thought of that is like, I think DC's trying to like remake like Constantine or something again, and it's like, is it connected? Is it Elseworlds? Is anyone even gonna know what the fuck Elseworlds is? Who doesn't read the comics? Right. Like, I'm kind of. It feels like Hollywood is making a lot of things connected now, and it's exhausting, man. It's exhausting having to watch 3 things to be able to like watch a television show, then watch a mini series, then watch an animated short just to fully understand a movie. That's exhausting.
Right. So like in order to get the full story of Darth Maul, I have to watch a movie, 3 movies.
Yeah.
That are fucking 20 years old, and then I have to watch a cartoon, and it's like 4 episodes spread out somewhere across 3 seasons of this cartoon.
Right, it's exhausting.
But I'm just saying, like, that's the shit I had to go through to like learn about what happened to Darth Maul in like the canon world, and that is exhausting. It's a lot. It required me to do like some YouTube research, which I mean, admittedly, did drive me to some cool people, but not the point.
What? No, I like that's the thing. I know me and you, we both like doing research on that stuff. We love learning more about it, but like, well, I was thinking about that watching WandaVision. I was like, this is like kind of like exhausting, like just knowing, and like, it's a lot. It's a lot.
It's exciting for me, but it's only exciting because I've seen everything.
Right, exactly. So, yeah. I don't know what point I was trying to make.
Shields was canon.
Yeah.
That it started out kinda canon, and it's just like diminished over the years.
What the fuck does that even? Okay.
So like, I don't get it. I don't.
Yeah. Like, and so. I don't want to keep talking about Marvel for this entire episode, but like I think like a good example of kind of having more self-contained stories, kind of without connecting anything, is like how Daredevil was. But like even now that might be connected to the MCU. Which it would be great, but then it's like confusing. Like, why weren't you there during fucking Avenger shit.
Where were you during the snap? Why didn't you defend Hell's Kitchen from the fucking aliens?
Right. Where was the fucking Defenders at? Where was Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, and Iron Fist?
And why doesn't anyone give a shit about them? Why doesn't Iron Man know that there's like a person out there that can control people's fucking minds until their heads explode? Like, that was a thing, right?
Yeah. I guess I don't even know what this was about.
Some of the shit that the Defenders dealt with were definitely like Avengers level shit.
Yeah, the hand,
down a skyscraper.
That's the fucking hand.
Right. 1,000-year-old organization hiding under New York, and the Avengers just have no idea or don't give a shit when skyscrapers explode. I don't understand.
Iron Fist literally has like the power of a dragon, and Doctor Strange isn't aware of it. Like, what the fuck?
I don't understand. Like, it would be neat if they were connected, but those ones even seem like a stretch now.
Yeah, so I don't know. And then, like, how does the Punisher fit into the MCU? It's like, okay.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So anyway, let's move on. Because we could talk about it. Let's still
raise more questions than answers.
Exactly. I don't even know what the whole point of me bringing that up was. It wasn't even like a good question. It was just like me being like, what the fuck? There's so much shit. Let's stay under the Disney umbrella because it's extending forever and ever, and we're never going to escape it. Did you see the new Pixar trailer for Luca?
For what?
For Luca?
I think so.
It's like
on the TV.
It's an Italian villa. There's two. It's adorable. Yeah, it's adorable. I mean, Pixar doesn't miss.
Yeah.
That was adorable. That's all I really have to say about that. But like, I still haven't seen Soul, but I heard that's amazing.
Yeah, I heard Soul was amazing.
I'm not emotionally ready for it because everyone I've talked to who's watched it has cried. Even though I cried watching Train to Busan.
Yeah, me too. And I've been sitting on the last episode of The Good Place for like 6 months.
Right, that is an emotional.
Don't watch it. I
feel that.
I don't want to feel.
Right, I feel that. But that looks good. I like that. I kind of like how Pixar has been kind of going and exploring other like cultures lately, kind of like with Coco. We have Luca now. There was another one that was like,
yeah. You're welcome.
Yeah, Moana. Like, I really like that they're doing that because there's a lot of like, if anything, like, there's an entire world of stories. I am glad we're getting to see other ones. This one looks cool. It looks endearing, like all Pixar movies. For those who haven't seen a trailer, it like takes place on like an Italian city. On the like coast, so like those very pastel buildings, and there's gelato and people riding mopeds. But it seems like it's like a story about like two kids, which like for the first part of the trailer, again spoilers, it's a trailer, it's 3 minutes, I don't know if there's spoilers for it, but like they're like, oh, there's kids, there's a bunch of kids hanging out, and then you find out at like the end that two of the kids are like actually sea monsters, and like the town doesn't like sea monsters, so we're probably gonna get some touching story about. It's just as Pixar does.
Sea monsters.
Yeah, so it'll be cool.
One of those movies where like I only watch the trailer because like it makes me cry, and that's enough.
Right. Yeah, I'm not gonna watch anything or like it looks great. It looks fantastic. Like I said, Pixar doesn't miss. I don't think they're good. They have their storytelling down. They might all their stories might be similar-ish, but they know what to do. They got the whole hero's journey down. So that should be good. Let's talk about a director that is bad at doing the hero's journey. I'm kidding. But let's talk about a zombie movie. Actually, before we talk about that trailer,
what?
The Army of the Dead trailer. Did you watch it?
Oh yeah.
All right. Before we get to that, let's talk about the Avatar news. It's really big news. I haven't watched Avatar since I was a kid.
Like MII?
What? Like Avatar.
Like Avatar: The Last Airbender?
Yeah. So how connected are you to the franchise?
I am approximately 5% connected to the franchise.
Okay, so I know like our friends love it, and
yeah, and I know who Korra is, and that's like the extent of my knowledge.
Exactly.
Wait, Korra? No, that's Aang. That's who I know.
Right.
The arrow on
so I don't even know if we should be discussing this because we don't know shit about it.
I am an idiot.
I watched it as a kid. I really liked it. But anyway, the big news this week was Avatar: The Last Airbender franchise to expand with the launch of Nickelodeon's new studio dedicated solely to Avatar: The Last Airbender, and we are getting theatrical films, animated theatrical films, and more stuff coming from that. If you are an Avatar fan, that is big news. Like I said, I watched it as a kid. Don't really have too big of a connection. It's a good show.
Yeah, I have nothing bad to say about it.
I don't have anything to add to it, I guess.
That are into that.
Yeah, so congrats if you like Avatar. That's my old, I guess, congrats if you like Avatar. It's like the good content. I don't know.
Yeah, enjoy, Avatar lovers.
There was some smaller news I want to talk to you before. I think we round off this entire segment with talking about Army of the Dead because I have a lot to say about it. So there's a couple new things that kind of I've seen just like blips of this last week that have got me interested. The first one is the new Reno 911 movie.
Oh shit.
The only problem is it's going to be on Paramount Plus, which goddamn it. Stop making
fucking streaming service.
Yeah.
What do you want from me?
Exactly. But it is called Reno 911: The Hunt for QAnon. Which, if anything's gonna make me get a Paramount Plus subscription, it is that title to that movie. That sounds fucking hilarious.
Oh my gosh.
Right.
Give me that free 1 month subscription.
Exactly. I'll do the weekend. I'll just watch it. So Reno 911 is kind of like in this weird place. I don't know if like people younger than us know about it. Not like just because like I don't feel like does it still play on Comedy Central?
I have no idea, but I can guarantee you there is a large percentage of an entire generation that like has no idea what that is.
Right, it's great. Watch it. It is hilarious.
Like multiple generations.
It's really funny. It's about an incompetent police station.
Incompetent?
I mean, and they get into funny situations, but like really stupid funny situations. It's almost like skits. It's almost like police skits. All the characters are like pushed to the limit. Like no one is normal in it. Like they all have their really strange quirks, and it is pretty damn funny.
Like cops, if instead of cops being like real and dangerous all the time, it was just a fucking assholes like, pretending to be cops, but they keep showing up at like real crimes.
Exactly, that's a good way of putting it. And you probably will watch it. You'll see like a lot of comedians that you're aware of because a lot of comedians got like their start on that show too. Like I think not Keenan. I can't remember. It's been a long time. Yeah, Key and Peele. I think they got to start on it. It's good. It's good stuff. Do people even know about Key and Peele? I don't. Okay, I don't like. Let's get off this nostalgia trip. Let's talk about this other one. That movie looks fucking hilarious. I didn't even watch a trailer or anything. I just saw the title and I'm in. So a good title.
The first movie was great. Honestly, if you want like a decent introduction to the series.
Isn't that when they're in Florida?
Yeah. There's
that
like
one was pretty good.
I think it's just called Reno 911 Miami. It's just a movie.
Yeah.
And
it's like
it's fucking hilarious. But like the show really is it helps a little bit, but you don't really need the show to enjoy the movie.
And it's not like the show isn't like you have to watch episode after episode after episode. It's like you can pick and choose what episode you want.
Yeah, it's like Cops. Like you can just go wherever.
Yeah, but it's so much better than Cops. It doesn't make you feel bad like watching Cops.
Yeah, Cops usually makes me feel bad. That show
I hate Cops. Which soundbite, I guess. All right, let's move on. Sure. No. Okay, let's just move on. So, David Fincher is reteaming with the Seven screenwriter for a new movie. Shayne.
Zach.
David Fincher.
Yeah.
Is making a movie.
Eli Roth.
What do you think? For those who don't know, David Fincher, Mindhunter, Seven, Zodiac, those type of movies. Shows. That is what Fincher is known for. I like his stuff. I think he does tension really well. He is writing a new movie and directing it. The fucking title, what do you think the title is?
Deception. No, I have no idea.
David Fincher, the person who has made his career making movies about serial killers, new movie is called The Killer. I literally had to walk away from my computer when I wrote it. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? It's like J.J. Abrams making a movie called Lens Flare. Like, it's like, I'll watch it. I love Fincher's stuff, absolutely. But like, it's like, okay. Damn it.
Have you seen the trailer for Zack Snyder's newest superhero film? It's called Slow-Mo.
Slow-Mo. It's called All Action, No Substance. But yeah, it's called The Killer, and I was like, are you fucking kidding me? It is the most David Fincher title I've ever heard.
I should have been able to guess that.
Yeah. There was one other news about the MCU that I missed. Wesley Snipes is mad that he's not in the new Blade, so he's making his own Blade killer movie, he called. So that's a thing. I don't know what the fuck that means, but he's doing that.
Who got cast as the new Blade?
I don't even know if they've announced it yet.
Well, we know it's not Wesley Snipes.
Yeah, I mean, which...
So I guess we can assume that part of that Marvel universe over there in Blade Land is
yeah. I don't think you could actually...
That means no Triple H.
Yeah, I don't think you could take those movies and put them in the MCU. Those movies are fucking something else.
Oh yeah, they're literally like a fever dream.
Oh wait, okay, talking about weird MCU stuff. The person who is going to play Blade was the same actor who played Cottonmouth in Luke Cage.
Why?
I mean, he's a good actor, like 100%. He was in Attila in True Detective. This season 2, I think.
Interesting.
But like, why?
Where did you find this information?
IMDb.
New Blade?
Yeah.
Blade?
Yeah, it's just called Blade. I think it's coming out like 2023.
2023?
I don't know.
Mahershala Ali?
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
Which he was really good at Cottonmouth. I think one of the better villains. I think Luke Cage had a really good villain. But like, I do know this. But like again, like if he somehow those shows are made canon of the MCU, how the fuck is?
How the fuck does that work?
I don't know.
Because literally the first person that came to my mind. Oh shit! This is Uncle Aaron from Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse too.
Yeah. Yes.
The first person that came to my mind when we were talking about Blade was Michael
B. Jordan.
Jordan, yeah.
That's kind of who I thought too, because he's talk about an actor who's popping off right now.
For real, he is really just something else, man.
Yeah.
And he'd make a pretty cool Blade, but
he's dating Steve Harvey's daughter.
Killmonger, what?
He's dating Steve Harvey's daughter. I just know that tidbit just saw on the TV. But yeah, go ahead. But yeah, he would also make a That's
awesome. Yeah, he would make an amazing Blade, although
yeah, he was already a villain.
Yeah, he's already dead.
So I don't know.
Spoiler alert.
But at this point, MCU might just do. I don't know. I mean, so maybe I don't know. Let's.
Man.
No more MCU talk.
At least Ryan Reynolds is gonna be dead.
Yeah.
Consistency.
Yeah, that is true.
That's what I look for in my Marvel movies, you know?
Yeah. All right, let's talk this last thing before we get into Train Busan. It's zombies going to zombies. So I gotta say, we're about to talk about Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead official teaser. I watched the teaser after I watched Train to Busan. I can't tell you how fast I shifted from, wow, zombie movies are so great. They're fantastic cinema. They can tell compelling stories. They've always been about fantastic social commentary all the way back to the origin of zombie movies. These are a great way to go through themes and things plaguing the world, such as corruption and greed and corporations and stuff. And then I watched fucking Army of the Dead. I was like, I fucking hate everything.
Oh, man. Someone lied right to you.
Yeah. I watched it and I was like, I was like, oh, I started writing things for like an episode on my YouTube where I was going to talk about how zombie movies are like, I've always been tied to social commentary because and they've always been like a great way to like talk about society as a whole and use them as themes and stuff. And then I watched Army of the Dead. I was like,
yeah,
okay.
I think that the idea of a zombie is a play on social, like, is a social commentary.
It is. Romero,
However,
yeah.
Not all movies take it in that direction. Some people are just like, here's a zombie, blah.
Yeah.
And that's just what they do with it. Which
I think sucks. Well, I mean, so I won't say sucks. I think I came up with a theory. So the good zombie movies, like Train to Busan, Dawn of the Dead, Night of the Living Dead, Shaun of the Dead even, use zombies as a storytelling device in which they are an external threat, but you can still explore the themes. Like Night of the Living Dead dealt with race. That's what Romero wanted to do. It's a fantastic movie, but it had race as like the main tension. Dawn of the Dead took place in a mall for a reason. It was about the 70s and 80s consumerist culture. That is why Romero wanted to do about it. That is why you get those long extended shots of the zombies walking through a mall. It's why the mall is so important in that movie. Shaun of the Dead is a play on like how you can get stuck in your old ways and become a zombie in a terms. Like I just always think of probably one of my favorite shots of Edgar Wright's is when Sean walks, the first time we see him, he walks to the convenience store and back, and then we get the same identical shot frame for frame, except they're zombies now, but he's so self-involved with himself that he doesn't even notice they're zombies. Like, those are good zombie movies because the zombies are there, and Train to Busan obviously deals with greed. We'll get into that when we talk about it. But, like, those are good movies because they use zombies in that way. How the fuck are you going to do anything? I'll let you talk. I don't know. This movie, this trailer made me actually mad.
Well, I don't think it did that to me. But I'm here for you,
yes,
my friend. I am here for you.
I just have a question.
I laughed a lot, and I did not take it very seriously. When I saw Dave Bautista, I literally laughed out loud like I was
looks so stupid.
My favorite stand-up comedian. I looked up to the sky with bellowing belly laughter and ha 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 because I thought it was so fucking hilarious. When I saw him, I knew exactly like
dude, it
how
looks so stupid. You see, okay, I agree with you with that. I did think it is going to be stupid. I did think the action part were pretty cool and like it is going to be funny. It seemed so serious though. Like
it's taking itself way.
Yeah, exactly. It's taking itself way too seriously. Like if you're gonna do a stupid, like this is pretty much what is that zombie game where you're in Las Vegas?
Oh, Dead Rising.
Yeah, it's pretty much a Dead Rising movie.
Yeah,
But like it seems like it's taking itself very seriously. It's like, don't. And then my main question is zombie apocalypse, right?
Yeah.
Why the fuck are you stealing money? What's the importance of money anymore?
I don't get that. And my assumption was like initially that perhaps, they're robbing this place and then the zombie apocalypse happens.
But no.
But it's like not what's going on.
Yeah.
And, I don't really get it.
I'll watch it, but I'll probably hate it. I think if I think if they didn't take it as seriously as the trailer did, it would be a fun movie to watch. But right now, it seems like we're gonna get some. Zack Snyder doesn't do comedy.
Nah.
Zack Snyder does not do comedy, and also he doesn't really do. If we're talking about the social commentary, which I was talking about zombie movies, Zack Snyder also likes to try to put some weird social commentary into his movies. Like, okay, Zack Snyder,
we're gonna get.
Oh yeah, that's all I was gonna say. Okay, Zack Snyder, you weren't the first person to put the Jesus allegory on Superman. Every other shot doesn't have to be him with his arms up. And now you have like the Joker, like in the Jesus pose, like in the new Justice League promos. It's like, dude, your social commentary is so stupid. Stop it. I think we're gonna get like a commentary that's like money bad. an Army of the Dead because they're in Las Vegas and trying to rob it. But it's not going to be like the greatness of Train to Busan where greed is bad. It's just going to be like, wow, we're dumb. We tried to get money when money is not important anymore.
Oh, man. This is literally the first line of this description is just blowing me away. Mm-hmm. Right? Following a zombie outbreak in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Comma. That's just the first half of the sentence.
Yeah.
That's terrible things. A group of mercenaries take the ultimate gamble.
Right. See, and the thing, like, you add mercenaries onto that, like, what kind of character development are we going to get that? We already know if they're mercenaries and they're willing to go into a zombie outbreak for money, that their characters probably suck. Not like suck like they're not well written, which that's debatable if they'll be well written, but like it's not like survivors trying to survive a zombie outbreak. These people seem like they're doing fine in a zombie outbreak and they just want money. I know. Yeah, go.
Venturing into the quarantine zone to pull off the greatest heist ever.
Oh my god.
Now, don't everybody put your hands up all at once, but I'd like to know, how's this movie gonna go?
Yeah.
These fucking assholes are gonna go in to a zombie outbreak that already happened in Las Vegas.
Yep.
Where they're having the hype. That's where it started. It says it right here.
Yeah.
They're gonna go die. That's what you're just paying money to see. Huma Qureshi, Dave Bautista, Ella Purnell, Ana de la Reguera, and Omari Hardwick get eaten by zombies. That's it.
Pretty much. And like,
I hope Bautista makes it out alive. That's all I care about. He's gonna die though, but it's gonna be badass.
I don't like that they use Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead. Listen, he made Dawn of the Dead, but it's not his. That's Romero's movie. That was a good zombie movie because it was Romero's idea that you made look interesting. That is the one thing I will give Zack Snyder. You can make interesting looking films. You just can't make interesting films sometimes.
And prettied it up.
The same with Watchmen. People like Watchmen will be like, oh, Zack Snyder's Watchmen is great. You made it look cool. Alan Moore made Watchmen.
Right.
Oh, so I don't know. Also, like, the song choice for the trailer, you're in Vegas. Why isn't it like Elvis or like Viva Las Vegas? I can't even remember what it was. It was some generic song that I didn't even...
I don't know either, but I'm half tempted to play it and risk the DMCA strike.
I'm just going to make sure my system is muted. I'm going to listen to it. I want to see what it is. It's some slow down song.
A Seven Nation Army good.
Dude, I'm surprised.
Is Army of the Dead a sequel to Dawn of the Dead?
Right, and then like...
No, it's a first chapter in a new zombie shared universe for Netflix, which is also producing a prequel film and an anime series that explore other aspects of Snyder's latest undead creation.
I don't even know what the song is. That's my other problem with it. You named it Army of the Dead after you made a movie called Dawn of the Dead. How are people not going to think that's connected?
Right. Where the fuck is Bing Rhymes?
Also, as I read in a comment, the French title for Dawn of the Dead is Army of the Dead. I don't know. Also, like,
shit together.
Netflix movies are also very kind of like hit or miss. And I want to say they miss more times than they hit, but the ones that they do hit are pretty good.
Yeah, so it's funny that you say that because my movie pick is actually a Netflix original.
Okay. Oh, I think I know what one it's that Tom Holland one. I haven't seen it. I know I don't know the name.
Oh, I'm so glad you said that.
Yeah, I do want to see that. But like I said, there is good stuff. Like the Ballad of Buster Scruggs was pretty good.
So amazing. I love that movie.
Yeah. I want to see. Okay, that was not a Netflix original best list because Clockwork Orange wasn't a fucking Netflix movie.
Just go to Netflix and
oh yeah, I can do that. Let's just do that. Forgot I can do that. Oh no! Don't play music.
Oh yeah. Also, hide your identity.
Yeah, I'm just showing my face. Netflix originals. Let's see. I heard Murder Mystery was good. I mean, maybe not. I don't think.
Come on, dude.
Yeah, no.
Come on.
Never mind. I think I'm thinking something else.
Are we doing strictly movies?
Well, if we're not doing strictly movies, they did do like Stranger Things, which is pretty good.
Shows good, but if we're doing just movies,
What?
Okay, sorry, just making lots of noise.
God, why does Netflix interface still suck?
There was they have a bunch of Netflix documentaries that are sweet.
Yeah.
I really thought that the Old Guard was done pretty well. That was a cool movie. I think it's called Extraction. Was pretty good. I Care a Lot was pretty cool.
The Ridiculous Six sucked so bad.
Yeah, I Saw the Devil was obvious, or not. I Saw the Devil. The Devil All the Time was obviously really good.
Yeah, I like Gerald's Game.
There's this one called
Babysitter was pretty okay.
Oh my gosh, I have to find it before I blow it. Yeah, I Care a Lot was.
But anyway, like they do have hits. It's just most of the times they're not.
Yeah, there is a lot of stickers.
Yeah, there's a lot of them that just aren't good. But we'll see.
Hold the Dark. That one.
I mean, I don't think if we're doing Rotten Tomatoes, which I think this is going to get between a 30 and a 40%.
What? Train to Busan?
No, Train to Busan is so fucking amazing. I'm talking about the Army of the Dead. Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I guess no offense to Rotten Tomatoes, not that I give a shit or anything.
Right.
I don't really pay attention to their scores.
No, like I don't either.
I want to know how good a movie is. I fucking watch it.
I mean, I don't do that to every movie. There's a lot of movies, but I get the sentiment. I get the sentiment.
There are some that you can just look at the title and like, yeah, this is gonna be a sticker.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, I think that movie's gonna suck. I think if someone else was directing it, it would be better. I'm throwing a lot of shade at Zack Snyder, but at this point, he keeps making really stupid movies.
I mean, your track record isn't exactly holding up.
He's too serious. Like, oh my god.
Lighten up, bro.
Yeah, like I get it. Like you've had tragedy like in your life, and I'm not talking about that part of it. Like his movies have always been so, like he got success from 300, and you can talk about like directors and stuff, even though they do work in the same medium and they work with the same ideas. Like Fincher, serial killers, they at least adapt and evolve and change their style. Zack Snyder hasn't changed his style since 300.
Yeah. Name a single Zack Snyder film since 300 that hasn't had slow-mo.
Or been incredibly desaturated. I think there could be different, like Army of the Dead, like make it a horror director could do better. Give it to James Wan. Who was Fast and Furious. At least
give it to Taika Waititi.
Yes, or Edgar Wright.
I think Taika Waititi would take this idea and fucking run with it.
Hey, I agree.
Have worked together before.
Right. And like you can give it to like James Wan, who did Fast and Furious 7. Like I don't usually say, hey, make your movie more like Fast and Furious, the Furious franchise. But at least the Fast and Furious franchise at this point in time is self-aware that they're making stupid movies. Right. And then when I say stupid, I mean like they're still fun. Fast and Furious 7, I talk about all the time how that movie is such a fun movie to watch.
We'll take average people and we'll make them superheroes.
Exactly. Like it probably didn't help that I watched the trailer after I did watch Train to Busan, which is a brilliant zombie movie.
Yeah, I mean, I went and watched videos of puppies after I watched Train to Busan.
Oh no, I watched more zombie movies. I watched White Zombie again.
I ended up watching Daybreak later in the day.
Nice. I was gonna watch the sequel. Okay. So before we start talking about Train to Busan, everyone this week we're talking about Train to Busan, the 2016 zombie movie directed by Sang Ho Yeon. Hopefully I'm saying that right. I'm really bad at speaking English, so I can barely speak sometimes. But it was a Korean horror film from 2016 that blew up. This movie is one of the highest grossing South Korean movies of all time. It is one of... Did you know the budget of this movie?
No.
$8 million.
Interesting.
It made so much more than that.
I believe it.
Which just ties back to my idea that horror movies make them low budget and they're amazing.
Yeah, great cast, low budget. Yeah.
So, spoilers alert for Train to Busan. I think before we talk about it, let's kind of go through what happened in it, kind of like describe the movie. The log line for it is, while a zombie virus breaks out in South Korea, passengers struggle to survive on the train from Seoul to Busan. Pretty simple. You have a father and a daughter. At first, we find out the father is a hedge manager. He is... I don't want to say stereotypical. There's like a lot of like very like stereotypical things kind of done in this movie, but I think done well. We have the father who is disconnected from his daughter. He works too much. This is something that happens in a lot of movies. We even get that whole tried and true. It's his daughter's birthday. He brings home a present. She already has the gift. There's a disconnect. We get that, which really plays into Train to Busan's idea about playing with greed and kind of people with a work culture and stuff. But anyway, go. Yes, it was a Wii.
Something that, like, it's surprising that he could possibly ever forget that he purchased this fucking...
Exactly. Like, exactly. Like, it's a Wii. It's a Wii U or something, which in 2016. Yeah, super expensive, and you can really see the disconnect here. This person, in the beginning, he really only cares about money. We actually kind of get a little bit of foreshadowing, too. He is looking on his computer about, like, all these reports of animals and fish dying and toxic spills for some of the companies that he works for, which are, like, biotech companies. And I should say, even before we get this, like, the first 5 minutes of the movie kind of does the Resident Evil 2 thing, where a driver hits a deer and we see the deer die and then come back to life. Sets up the movie. I think, actually, let's talk about that a little bit longer. I think that's a brilliant way to set up how the zombies work in this case. Because, like, there's always that question, like, how do your zombies work in your movie? Are they affected by, like, inhaling some strange gas? Does it have to be a bite? Do they immediately change? Can they be killed? All that kind of stuff. And we see a deer get run over completely. Like, the car drives away. We see the trademarks of the zombie in this movie. We see the deer's eye go foggy white, and it kind of started getting veiny and stuff, which is how you can tell someone is a zombie in this movie. I think it's a pretty simple scene that sets up what we're going to have to expect how zombies are going to work in this world. For sure. I think it's really well done. But anyway, we get that first. We have the main character being a hedge fund father, works too much. His daughter's birthday is tomorrow. There's a divorce happening, so we already have family drama going on. And all she wants to do is go take the train to Busan to see her mother. And it's kind of a struggle for the dad to do that. He really is dedicated to work. Again, really hammering this into the movie because that is a very big part of it. They really hammer it in the movie too, being like, hey, this dad, rich, but really dedicated to work, not really caring about the family. We've seen it done in a lot of movies, but it's there. Then we go forward the next day. They're driving. Buildings are on fire. Shit's going bad, but whatever. They get on the train, and they begin heading to Busan. We see that a zombie makes her way onto the train. We get introduced to a lot of characters here. We get some older women who are sisters. We get a man and his wife who is expecting a child. She is pregnant. We get a homeless man on the train. We get a CEO who is going to become the villain.
The fucking worst.
Dude, the fucking worst.
Diabolical fucker that's ever
the
been
fucking worst. Yeah.
Like, I know when I'm watching a movie with my dad and he says, "This fucking guy."
Yeah.
Like, that's when you know. And I just want to say, as we're approaching this part in the movie, I think that this is like not just zombies. This is like one of the coolest like monster reveals.
Yes, agreed.
That I've seen in a movie. And on top of that, I like that the reveal to our quote unquote hero is different than like the reveal to the viewer.
Right.
Like, the first shot for you is very scary, very intimidating, very much like, holy fuck, this is like an insane zombie, and it's a perfect introduction to like what these things are.
Yeah.
And then when it's introduced to our main character, it is like high intensity, big action, scary, get the fuck out of there, like, where's your daughter? Go, 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 go.
Yeah.
Really good.
Absolutely. I think honestly one of the most terrifying adaptions of what a zombie is, their twitching movement, their faded eyes, how they move. I can't honestly think of a zombie movie that has more like, they kind of, for everyone who hasn't seen the movie, they kind of, which I'm going to use another movie to reference this, the nurses in Silent Hill kind of like they twitch when they move. It almost very unhuman like. It's almost like they're having permanent seizures or like muscle spasms at all time, like they're losing control of everything. That's how these zombies are. These zombies are terrifying.
Yeah.
You don't just have the slowly walking, you like these things.
They're quick, they're violent, you know, they're strong as fuck.
Yeah.
I think that there was also these beautifully done, like, I'm pretty sure they're called match cuts.
Yes.
Yeah, just beautifully done, where, you know, you are focused on, like, the daughter, and I believe this is how it played out. You're like focused on the daughter and like kind of the zombie, and the daughter walks into the bathroom and the door closes. So you're just looking at a door and you think that that's where the zombie's gonna go.
Yep.
And then it just like match cuts to something else. It was just really well done.
Yes, absolutely. So anyway, I think like everyone knows at this point, like this is part of the part that makes like it kind of very tense, because like there's a zombie on the train, you know shit's getting bad, is going to go bad. The doors are closed, they are moving, they are on a train. And the zombie infection starts. It kind of starts out with the people, all the like, I want to say like mainish characters that we have are all kind of in the same cabin, the same train cart, and they're all getting like, oh shit, things are going bad, riots happening all around over Korea, South Korea, and people like, oh wow, oh that like they're genuinely like freaking out, because it makes sense that they would.
There's like subtle hints and like news articles and the cell phone alerts. I think the main character gets a call from his analyst.
Yeah, analyst Kim.
Yeah, the thing starts to really ramp up.
And again, this is kind of like I don't want to like beat the head of like social commentary in zombie movies, but it is something I truly believe in. There's parallels to how the zombies are used here for like Romero's consumerism, and kind of how that the main character is a hedge manager, and kind of like letting all these corporations kind of like hiding the leaks and stuff from it, which could have caused the zombie movie. We kind of get some of those tied in. People freaking out, the news not really telling the truth at all, because we even have the government being like, oh, everything's fine and safe. Like we get some commentary there.
The media is outright lying.
Exactly. So I'm not going to get on my soapbox again. Zombie movies and social commentary are very intertwined. They do a good job here, and not like beating your head over with it, but still seeing the parallels pretty easy. And then the infection blows up pretty much on the train.
I do like that there is, it's a bit vague, but there is like at least some form of an explanation as to like why this is happening.
Yes.
That's something we kind of lack in a lot of zombie media. So you have like in the beginning, it's like there's a leak in the hills, and it's like you don't really know what it is. It's a leak. This guy can't fucking drive up the hill or whatever.
Yeah, they have to kill his pigs again.
Yeah. Oh no. Just a leak. Okay. So, but then later on, you know, analyst Kim calls and says that there's a pretty good chance that this is because of our main character, and like he was covering up these leaks.
Exactly.
That's pretty cool that they kind of provide an answer to the age-old question, like, why the fuck is this happening?
Right, exactly. I do like that, like, they do tie that in, and it definitely goes full circle at the end. But pretty much this next part, it's like hard to describe this next chunk. We get some character development. The main character closes the door on the husband and the wife who is pregnant. And we kind of see this as a defining character moment here, because everyone's like, why the hell you're an asshole? Like, zombies are coming, so you kind of have to be like, oh, you have to protect yourself. But then, like, the main character tells his daughter, like, why did you get, like, so the scene that happens somewhat after that is the daughter offers her seat up to one of the older ladies, and the main character says to her, in this time you only really need to care about yourself. It's really showing up what the main character is. It's very prominent in the first half of this movie that our main character is an asshole.
Yeah, he's pretty much the fucking worst.
Very selfish. But
you get a good payoff.
Yes, it changes in the end. We get, like, a lot of people, some more commentary, like some other people talking about, like, the hedge managers and how they're selfish and they're bloodsuckers and all that kind of stuff. There's a disdain we have, and it's like a direct parallel to the husband of the person who is expecting a child. He is very selfless, and actually, like, I love him. Too bad what happens to him.
He's seriously, like, he steals the show for me.
Yeah, he's the best. And of course, spoilers alert, because he is the best, he dies.
Yeah, but he is by far the most badass person, and it's like, there really is, like, a great arc with them. Like, in the beginning, they really don't like each other. They don't hit it off, even before the fucking zombies come.
Right.
Like, and then the zombies come, and then they really don't like each other, and then they kind of have to help each other out, and then by the end of this, they've established, like, a true camaraderie. He's like, our main character is crying in this guy's face.
Yes.
Literally crying to him, holding back hundreds of zombies as this dude's telling him, like, you have to fucking save my wife because I'm gonna die.
Absolutely.
And then, then he yells out what he wanted his kid to be named.
Yeah.
This made me cry, like, so many times.
There's a lot of really good small stories within this. We get the sisters, the two older women I was talking about, they're sisters. We kind of also get the same parallel between the greedy and the non-greedy with them. The one older sister has the egg and is like, why? The other lady's like, why are you doing that? Even though she's, like, looking out for her sister. There's one that's very selfish, one that's very selfless. We get the story between the wife and husband who are expecting a child, how that the kid is named Sleepy because the dad is too lazy to think of a name, which that pays off.
I wish that I could understand, because I feel like in most cases like this, when you get the subtitles, it is like usually a pretty literal translation of what's being said.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I imagine for the most part, most of these people are not speaking, like, literal word by word.
No, absolutely.
Like, translated Korean. I'd like to be able to understand some of the slang, because I'm sure she didn't say, like, because my lazy husband. She was probably like, because this fucking piece of shit.
Exactly. Like, there's definitely some things that it's just hard. It's very hard to translate culture and cultural norms.
It almost makes me smile more, though. Like, I'll read the captions and I'm like, okay, that's the translation, but really this lady is like, what the fuck, dude? Like,
exactly. Exactly. Like, there is something, because it is a South Korean film. Shane and I are American. Like, watching surprise, watching films from other cultures, something I've done for, like I said, I went for school for it. It's always really interesting. I've always really liked watching films from other parts of the world, because there is a human connection. Like, we can understand what is happening between the husband and wife, because it is a human connection. That we understand the lazy husband not naming the child. That is something there that we understand. But there's go ahead.
You can enjoy this movie without reading a single subtitle.
Right.
And you could just ignore the fact that people are talking at all. They say so much in this film without saying anything at all.
Yes, yeah, exactly. They do a good The director does a very good job at taking the norms that we know in film, and instead of reinventing the wheel, instead of doing that, taking the stories, the hero's journey, the traditional storytelling points that we all know, that it's all ingrained into our heads because of all the media we consume, and like I said, instead of reinventing the wheel, they use it instead as very polished. They polish it to make a very compelling story. Like Train to Busan is nothing new. It is nothing that we haven't seen storytelling wise. It is nothing like so crazy that it's like, wow, like this narrative device they're using is something I've never seen before. But it really shows you that you can use the same thing that we all know, even though it's in a different language, and we can still connect with the characters because, like you said, you don't have to hear their words. How the acting is so good in this, and the camera work, like you can tell what the story is just by seeing what's on the screen.
Yeah, it's like I said in the beginning, when you have a good cast, when you have people that really care about a film, it doesn't matter how much money you put into it.
Exactly.
So like you have a small budget film and these people that really want it to turn out well, and they really put their all into it. I mean, our main character might say like 100 words throughout this entire movie.
Yeah.
He's not a really talkative guy, and most of the time in the end of the movie, he's fucking screaming and crying.
Absolutely.
And, so it's like you're able to connect with this man like so easily. You already know what he does. You know that he's disconnected from his daughter, and you know the world's going to hell. It's like, this guy's fucked up. He's going through some shit, you know. And,
absolutely.
And it's easy to connect with him, and the actors, they just do a really good job. And overall, this film's really good. And I just want to say something about our monster.
Yeah.
Because if I didn't fucking know any better, I would say that all of the effects in this movie were practical, and there were actually people dressed as zombies throwing themselves off balconies and then getting up with broken arms and stuff.
Right. There is some parts that are definitely CG. Like that low budget. But like saying, the zombies themselves are definitely practical.
So the practical effects that they use combined with some of the other stuff, like there's a scene when they all bust out of a window and fall off the subway.
Dude, it's so intense, yeah.
That part, like, if I didn't know any better, I'd say that those 6 dudes like actually ran out of that window and fell off the top of that subway.
Right, absolutely.
Like, it looked fantastic. And for me to come into this podcast tonight and you tell me that they had an $8 million budget, it's like kind of astounding. They did a fantastic job.
For those who are not familiar with filmmaking or Hollywood or anything, $8 million for a budget is nothing. It is nothing. I think the Train to Busan remake is getting like $100 million or some bullshit.
And honestly, I actually think I don't know. I could be completely wrong and just throwing things out into the air, but it seems like they just used all actual stand-ins for most of their zombie parts, where people weren't actually risking their lives to make effects happen.
Yeah.
But like where there's like huge crowds of zombies running and stuff, like I wouldn't be surprised if there was actually a fucking 150 people dressed like zombies.
Right. I would love to see a making of but anyway, let's get through the story. So pretty much the rest of the story is pretty simple. Now that there's a bunch of, like I said, we've talked about a bunch of smaller stories. Like, if we were going to talk about all the smaller stories, we'd have to make another podcast. But there's also a baseball team, which is a high school girl and a high school boy kind of having their own story arc.
Totally Romeo and Juliet.
Really, it is, and it's tragic. But pretty much, they're on the train. Things go bad. Everyone starts freaking out. They start dividing up the cars. They find out that if the zombies can't see them, they won't go crazy, which comes in later. It's a very cool way, like. The pregnant woman puts up a bunch of paper on the windows and the zombies calm down, so it kind of foreshadows, hey, if the zombies can't see, they won't freak out, which we get into some really cool parts later with that. They get to the first train station into like pretty much an empty city. This part is so eerie because they all get off the train station, they've been through chaos, like looking out the window, seeing zombie hordes killing people, and they get to this train station and there is no one. We kind of find out something that is that this is one of the parts that's like, if you're not familiar with the culture, it might be confusing because our main character had military ties. For those who don't know, most men, I don't know if it's women also now, in South Korea have to be part of the military. at some part in their life. Most of them do. They go spend time in the South Korean military for a couple years. So he calls one of a lieutenant that he knows, and it's like, is this place safe to go? They kind of finds out one part is safer than the other, doesn't tell anyone, kind of still showing how selfish he is. But as they're going through this desolate city with no one there.
Transition.
Yeah. Like, there's nothing there. It is quiet. Yeah. There's nothing there. It is quiet. And they get to this part where they see a bunch of military uniforms, and we're starting to get context clues as we get closer there that the military has fallen. They did not win this fight. And we get to this race back to the train as the military chases, and the military zombies begin chasing all of our heroes, all of our main characters back to the train. And this part is fucking intense. We get them, like Shane, you said, they fall out of windows onto the train. But it's also the first time where we get the main character kind of working a little bit more or less selflessly. The baseball players. Oh, go ahead.
I think this is that part where our hero begins his transition to not being a piece of shit.
Exactly.
Him abandoning his daughter.
Yeah. Yep.
He's literally, there's a point where he's literally stuck between his own selfishness and his own future.
Yep.
And he has to choose in that moment. And of course he makes the choice to run for his daughter. But
yes,
there's a point where our character's decisions have put him between his selfishness and the only thing he gives a shit about. And
yes,
I love that kind of story point. So anyway, carry on.
Yes. So anyway, they all race back to the train. I think this is one of the most crucial parts of the story, because as before, when they were all on the train, they were all in one car. Now that they're all back on the train, they are divided into 3 different areas. That we have the front of the train, where a majority of our survivors are. We have the CEO asshole who is doing everything wrong and is literally killing people because he wants to survive.
His true colors really started to shine. Just before this, we saw him be kind of a dick, trying to command the train conductor because he knew he was a CEO of some bus company, I'm pretty sure, and he knew that he couldn't get into this city, but he knew that Busan was available. So he's pushing around this conductor and shit. And then this is we really see this man.
Yes, exactly.
To the bad guy.
Yeah. And then, so we get them. We have, and there's a bunch of smaller characters there. We have one of the older ladies in that cart too. And then between them, there's probably 3 or 4 carts full of zombies. In the center, we have the pregnant wife, the daughter of our main character. I think the homeless guy is there too.
Yeah.
And one of the old ladies is there also. And they are stuck in a bathroom stall. They're in the center of the train. Then, last but not least, I should say also the high school girl is up in the front. This is up in the front. We have the baseball boy. We got Romeo. Yeah, we got Romeo. We got our main character, and we got the husband. All in back. Yeah.
Should probably mention that as the husband and the main character were rushing onto the train was pulling away.
Yeah.
And they actually had a moment. Again, characters saying something without saying anything at all.
Exactly.
The second main character, the husband, future father, was running behind the train, trying to catch up. And our main character extended an arm for him. And the guy acknowledged this, but then proceeded to be the most badass character in the movie and pick up a sword, or not a sword, a baton, a shield off the ground, and beat up 4 zombies, and then he grabbed the extended hand of our hero, and they had this nice little moment of solidarity before they go through the rest of this movie, which is literally pure hell for both of them.
Yes, so this is probably my favorite part of the movie. So all 3 of we have Romeo, husband, main character in the back. They are able to call the wife who is pregnant and find out, hey, the daughter is there, all that. They find out that they are in cart 13 and they're in cart 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, so main characters right now, 9, 13 is where they have to save their families, and then I think like 15 or 16 is where the rest of the survivors are. So the three of there's a lot of train. This is the second train movie that I've watched in the last couple months that has like some badass fighting in it. I should say something about the camera work here too. The camera work makes you feel very claustrophobic. It is a very well shot. So the main characters are like, don't even have much of a discussion. They're like, oh, they're in 13. They like start unbuttoning their shirts, wrapping like this like tape around their arms, like grabbing bats and stuff. And like these three people become fucking superheroes.
Instantly.
Yeah, they don't talk.
A baseball bat. It's like the baseball player is just crying his fucking eyes out because he just saw
all his friends are dead.
Get mutilated.
All his friends are dead.
And he's like crying to the girl.
Yeah.
Who then proceeds to tell him that she's in the furthermost cart, and this dude just starts fucking getting ready. He stops crying, puts his phone away, and starts wrapping duct tape around his arms.
Yeah.
It just becomes a badass, and the other two dudes just follow suit after another phone call.
It's so good because, like you said, like nothing has to be said. They just kind of like all acknowledge it, and like they start taking their suits off, like unbuttoning, like roll up their sleeves. They start putting tape around their arms, which is. Why don't more people in zombie movies do that? That's like brilliant. It's so brilliant. So like if they can't get bit there, and they're like,
hands though.
Yeah, which, but like, I thought about that too. I was like, is that a plot hole? But like, how do you open the doors if your hands are all taped?
You'll figure it out.
I mean,
untaped.
I think if I was I would rather be able to use my hands, but we do see that it bites them in the ass later. But anyway, the three, they push, and they fucking fight. They scrap their way through zombie hordes. I will say, second most badass fighting scenes in a train. First goes to another Korean director, Bong Joon-ho, his fighting scenes in Snowpiercer.
Dude, that movie is unbelievable, and there's so many interesting, like, not even like parallels. It's just funny to see both these movies done in like similar but different ways, right? It's like a big train that's the savior of our heroes in an apocalyptic situation, and it's like,
and they're both about like the same social commentary. Like they both have the same social commentary. Snowpiercer's a little bit more
like, collapsing on each other.
I mean, social, like Snowpiercer is like the most non-hiding, it's like social commentary ever. It's literally like the lowest class has to start at the end of the train and eat insects, and then they have to fight them way against the, like, I love Snowpiercer. It's a great movie.
Yeah, I know it's not really what we're talking about right now, but I just gotta say, I love Tilda Swinton.
Yeah.
Like, that's where I'm at with that. We can end that conversation now, though. She's just like literally in the top 5 of my all-time favorite actors.
Right. I mean, Chris Evans is it's just so good. It's such a great movie. But anyway, which it is kind of like they're both South Korean directors. Again, this is going back to last week. They're making a Train to Busan America.
Please no.
Edition, like, trains are an important part of like other cultures than America. Like literally, we've had people destroy the train industry in our country. Like, where the fuck are you going on trains in our country?
Yeah,
it's dumb. But anyway, they fight them.
Colorado.
Yeah, what are you all gonna get on a Greyhound bus? Like, but anyway, they fight their way through. They use the you can't see if like the zombies can't see, they won't attack, and they do it in the most tense way that Snowpiercer also does. That's why I brought it up, because Snowpiercer also has this crazy fight scene where it's like, wait for the tunnels, we'll fight in the dark.
Yeah,
and like they do it in Train to Busan also, which is crazy. Like they have to sneak past the zombies as it is like they know like they're in the tunnel for 2 minutes and they have to sneak past the zombies. So tense. Anyway, they fight their way through. They save their families. They get to the front, and
it never ends. I just have to say, like,
it doesn't.
We say it like that, like, oh, they get to the car, they rescue the family, they move on. But like these entire moments are like you're at the edge of your fucking seat. Like,
there is no breathing.
Is life or death. As soon as they find the family, instantaneously they come out of the tunnel and they have to fucking hide again.
Yep.
It's like the tension never like stops until they are all the way through, and then even still, like I think the tension in this movie holds all the way up until like the very end.
You don't get it till credits. I don't think you get it till credits. But anyway, they fight their way up to the front. The Romeo, our baseball boy, calls the girl is Juliet, and it's pretty much like, we're coming, we got survivors, and the CEO guy's like, they're infected, fuck them, and he convinces everyone else. He convinces everyone else that he should not save these survivors. True greedy fashion. He's the worst. So they get all the way to the front, and they cannot make it in. Because of that, because the doors are blocked and they're not letting the survivors in, the husband gets bitten trying to stop a zombie horde. One of the most touching scenes, like him trying to hold him back.
It's so intense.
It really is. And honestly, I can't even like describe this part. You just have to watch it. Like, this movie is very emotional. It's very good. Anyway,
my dad, like, both cried. My dad was like, in the beginning, he was like, "Oh, we're gonna watch a zombie movie," and I was like, "Yeah, Dad, just another zombie."
Yeah, just another zombie movie.
Yeah, and I was like, "Just another zombie movie, right, Dad?"
Right. It is such an emotional. I was an emotional wreck watching the movie. It is so good. I like couldn't look away from the movie the entire time. This is the second time I've seen it. The first time I wasn't fully paying attention to it, but this time I was, and it made it so much better. But anyway, from there to the end of the movie, we lose main character by main character by main character, death by death, and most of them are the result of the CEO, the evil, the pure guy of corporate greed, the literal creation of corporate greed. He
literally kills Juliet.
Yeah, he does.
To a zombie.
He tells the main character, like, punches him in the face, is like, you motherfucker, you almost got us all killed, and he immediately goes, he's infected, and everyone else is like, oh shit, and even though they weren't infected, which pushes them aside. You kind of see how the greed gets back to them, though, as someone releases the zombies into the cart with all the people who were in the front. The old lady does, because she watched her sister die because of the greed of this guy, so she pretty much was like, fuck it.
She just listened to all these people just fighting and yelling at each other. They're all like telling this pregnant woman and this little girl, like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
I mean, the subtitles say, like, get out, run away.
Right. It doesn't say that.
Really, like, all these people are like, fuck you, swine. Get the hell out of here.
Yep.
And they push them to the front of the train. And then they seal themselves in. And this fucking old lady's like, listen to them all bitch at each other. And she literally just says, the subtitle just says, what a load of shit.
Yeah.
Goes and opens the door.
Yep. But of course, the CEO survives.
Of course, why not?
Yeah.
My dad was like, thank goodness.
Yeah,
and then and he was like, what?
Yeah. So anyway, the trains.
Dad is just so funny.
It's
reactions. It's like my third time watching this movie, so I already knew it was gonna happen. And,
right.
Just seeing someone else get really riled up about this movie makes me feel good, because it really is that kind of movie where, like,
oh, absolutely,
you don't have to, like I said, you don't have to read the subtitles, you don't have to know what's going on to know what's going on.
Right, absolutely. So the end, well, the last part, the third act, we find out, like, the train can't go any farther. They have to switch trains. It's a mad dash across the train yard. They have to cross through other infected trains. Romeo and Juliet die, like you said, because the CEO pretty much pushes Juliet out of the way, causing her to die. So Romeo's like, fuck it, all my friends are dead. He decides to spend his last minutes with her. They're both dead now. And this part is, like, again, it's really hard to describe, like, the action of this part. This part is very tense. You get the mad dash. A train on fire blasts through the train yard, knocking things aside, creating more chaos. And eventually, we're at the last leg. We are at the climax of our story. We have the main character, the daughter, the pregnant woman, and we don't know who's in the front of the train, but they're pretty much on, like, just the front of the train, and they're heading to Busan. They make a mad dash. Like, they're going, the front door opens where the, like, conductor would be, and we get the CEO guy. He has been bit.
Final act of tyranny.
We do get a little bit of commentary here, because he says, I'm scared, I just want to see his mom, kind of showing like that's kind of like humanity, like we do all the shitty stuff even though we're all human and all. That's kind of like, well, that's saying right there.
Before you say what happens, can I place a bit of irony in your head of like the fact that our main character got called a bloodsucker by the husband earlier?
Yep.
And then, carry on. This is how it plays out.
Yeah. Yes. So anyway, the father fights the CEO, tries to get him off. He gets bit. We get an incredibly sad scene where he has to be like, tell a pregnant woman, like, keep my daughter safe. He doesn't even say like bye to his daughter. It's like that, like, which is understandable. I think like it would be unrealistic for him to be like, bye, I love you. Like, he just cries, and we see a great shot of just a shadow of him launching himself off the back of the train. The only two survivors really are the pregnant woman and the daughter. So they get to Busan. But even then, that is tense because we have soldiers trained on them being like, do we shoot? And it's not until the last second with the daughter singing that the army finds out that they're not infected and they get saved. That is Train to Busan.
Song she could only sing when she saw her dad, and that's why she couldn't sing it at her recital. It's so fucking sad.
It's so sad.
The ironic thing is someone called our hero a bloodsucker earlier in the movie, and in his last feat of heroism, he literally puts his hand in a zombie's mouth and allows it to suck his blood as he throws him off the train.
We get the complete hero's arc. He's no longer selfish. He is now selfless. He sacrifices his own life to save his daughters. And that is Train to Busan. Like I said, one of the best zombie movies out there. You said it is your favorite. I would say it is probably tied for my favorite. I still think Dawn of the Dead is my favorite, with Shaun of the Dead being in second. I think Shaun of the Dead is fucking hilarious.
Shaun of the Dead's great, and I mean, Train to Busan, I believe, wouldn't exist without Dawn of the Dead.
Right, that's exactly like Dawn of the Dead as zombies as we know it. For those quick zombie movie lores, Dawn of the Dead isn't the first zombie movie. Night of the Living Dead, which came before Dawn of the Dead, wasn't the first zombie movie. White Zombie was in the 20s or 30s. But Romero made zombies as cannibalistic hordes a thing in his movies. But he also was the one who really added like the social commentary, making them more just about zombies, but more about human drama with zombies. So yeah. Anything else to say about Train to Busan? I just have to say, fucking why are you making an American version? You goddamn.
Just please, like, for anybody listening out there, just please write your local Congress. Tell them to
start a change petition.
These fucking people that are going to try to make this movie about people that take trains from Ann Arbor to Chicago and have to deal with zombies. Like, it just doesn't fucking work. It's just not going to work. I don't know. It's just doesn't. It's not going to make me feel the same way. It's going to make me feel like I felt when I watched Quarantine after I watched REC.
Right.
Like, this is like a Play-Doh version of a really cool story.
Yeah, I mean... And I've seen the stupidest arguments that, it's because people don't want to watch subtitles. I hate that argument.
They watch the fucking English version with the subtitles on.
Right, that's the thing. I know so many people who watch regular TV with the subtitles on. Like,
it's so crazy to me. People are like, I keep the subtitles on because I like to know what's going on when my kids scream. And then it's like, dude, but then you could easily watch like any number of beautiful foreign movies. We don't need remakes of foreign films in Hollywood. No. Just go watch the original. They're better that way. I think you should all support local businesses, but also we should support independent films and foreign films. Exactly. And all types of films that will diversify the market and make it competitive. And get better stories. Like we're talking about Luca. Like we have an entire world to tell stories. We don't need to just see the Hollywood version. Spoiler alert, everybody. Lion King is just fucking Hamlet. Are we gonna let them keep doing this forever? Like, make new shit. Make new shit.
All right.
We keep shitting on you and
yeah, I'm never gonna apologize for shitting on Disney. All right, let's do the part where we ruin this movie.
No, the people we're making it worth it.
Yes. So anyway, for those, this is called ruining movies because this exact next part, we just talked for about 40 minutes about why Train to Busan is one of the best zombie movies of all time. It is a great human tragedy drama movie. It is a great story, great cinematography, blah, 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 all that good stuff. We just gushed about it for 40 minutes. So now we have to remake it as a documentary.
Oh, great.
So, which it was one vote off from being a musical, so thank God. All right, so I think I kind of like what we did last time, where we defined what made Color Out of Space what Color Out of Space was. So I think we need to boil down Train to Busan, the main points of Train to Busan that made Train to Busan great. I think it has to include zombies. Well, that's a obviously, but I mean, I think Train to Busan needs to include zombies, unless you have an idea that's about to blow my mind.
No, I just thought I'd see if I could extrapolate some information out of it.
I mean, I guess you could replace it with any type of monster. The zombies aren't what make Train to Busan great. They're like they're there. And they're terrifying, but it's the human. It's like Color Out of Space. We talked about it. Human drama is what makes the movies good. So I think we need to have kind of a father with a disconnect to a family member, or it could be anyone, two family members who have a disconnect. One because they work too much. One because they are a child. Child is not at fault. The train is crucial. It is a storytelling place. You gotta have that Australia guy. That's in almost every. Are you talking about David Attenborough?
Fantastic.
You have to have the drama. You have to have the train going from one place to another. You have to have a bunch of smaller stories. So I guess if we're approaching this as a documentary, I'm guessing the mockumentary. Because if it was just a documentary remake of Train to Busan, it would literally just be how the movie was made.
That's actually like where my head's at.
Yeah.
So it's like here's what you do, right?
Yeah.
You take Train to Busan, and instead of having a great film crew and all this shit to make these wonderful angles, you just get an old shitty Panasonic handheld camera.
Yeah.
And you put TJ Miller behind it, and then every time there's a break in the action, you do like a Office style cutoff where it's like an interview with the character.
Okay.
He's like, and how does that make you feel? And like the fucking big muscly husband guy's like, man, that guy's a fucking asshole. He like,
Wait, that would be fucking hilarious. Okay, so I think I like that. We'll comedy mockumentary, Train to Busan. I love that so much. So
he's pounding on the door behind them in the interview.
Because it kind of takes what you were saying, which I completely believe 100% about not having to say anything because of how great this movie is, but then adding pointless exposition from the main characters in like the confession style booths.
Yeah, and you could even still have them say something without saying anything because you have TJ Miller speaking English. So he looks at the husband and he's like, so how do you feel about the guy with the daughter? And the husband is like crossing his arms almost.
Yeah. You could also
just looking around all frustrated.
I also love the idea of the guy not holding the main character not holding up open the door for the husband and the fucking pregnant wife, and the husband doing the Jim face to the camera.
He looks back at TJ Miller like, this motherfucker.
Yeah, just look. There's some shakes. And then I would love some confessionals of some zombies who somehow made their way in there. And just like, oh my god, I love this idea.
Oh man.
What? Okay.
Like, no recasting except for like the cameraman. And maybe it should honestly be like TJ Miller behind the camera and then like a boon mic, so that like sometimes the boon would come into camera.
Yeah. Okay. How about this? What if we remove TJ Miller? Not like, but we kind of made
TJ Miller because of Cloverfield.
Oh, that's a good call.
That's the only reason I picked him.
The only reason I was gonna say replace him with an actual South Korean actor. But maybe the main character is the camera guy, and he was maybe on his way. Maybe he had a fucking TV idea where he was just gonna go interview people on the train.
Yeah.
But still make it a comedy. So like maybe I could like imagine. You could even like pull Shaun of the Dead into this, like have like two idiots like Nick Frost and Simon Pegg's character in that, like they're trying to like make it big on like YouTube or something, and they're there just trying to like vlog it or blog it, and because they're just, oh my god, I love this idea.
Oh man, yeah, and then you know, by the end, of course, they're all just running to one train, and it's just him. Oh man, that'd be so awkward.
Right?
Right? Imagine the exact thing that happens, except this
the camera guy survives.
The boon guy probably died.
Yeah.
Because that would make for a good movie. He loses his boon guy, his long-time partner in documenting. And then he just gets on the train with these people, and he's got to like film this dude and his daughter going through this like terrible fucking time. And at this point, he started out making a comedy, but now it's just for science.
It's devolved, which is kind of like Cole Overfield.
Yeah, like he's just gotta. I now it's like I have to document this so people will know like what the fuck happened.
Yeah.
Because at this point, like he's not gonna sit down with the little girl and be like, "Now, how does that make you feel?" You know. But like maybe with the soldiers at the end, and maybe they show him a camera. And they're able to like, exchange footage, and like the end credits roll is just like fucking cuts of all sorts of like soldier shit dealing with zombie shit.
Yeah, and we could even do the thing where like we don't reveal who's behind the camera till the end, because they're like behind it, kind of do that whole found footage thing.
Yeah. And then it's
it's me. I like that idea a lot. Even like remove the comedy. I love the comedy aspect of it, like the office style, like Parks and Rec, Superstore
really
stuff.
Wanted to be a comedy, but I mean
that's one way you could do it. But like Cloverfield is a good example of using kind of like doing a horror, but like with a mockumentary found footage, because I think like you could put that in Train to Busan. And you're right, it could start as like this funny thing, maybe like they're doing like some like quote unquote pranks on the train, and then like, oh, they're like, wow, cool special effects, and like shit starts getting real and stuff. It'd be really cool. You could like, on a little bit more serious note, like having a found footage on a train would really make it more claustrophobic, because like you wouldn't see that much, you'd be on the train. I like that idea a lot. And
ironically, with this budget, it might have actually been scarier to have done something like this. Like, imagine, okay, instead of like the comedy angle at all, imagine that instead of a hedge fund dick, this guy is just a normal dad with a normal job, and he's still married to his wife, no ex-wife, but they're just going on vacation to Busan. But dad's obsessed with taking home movies. So he like brings a video camera. Now it's like a documentary. You know, he's documenting everything that he's doing on this family vacation. And maybe there are some things that are like interview style, but not really like in the same, just like putting the camera on his wife's face and being like, "Are you excited to go to Busan?" But then like shit really pops off. And maybe like our main character, who's the main character in Train to Busan, is revealed at the end as the cameraman.
Yeah.
The daughter takes the camera.
Yeah. I mean, I love this idea. I think this is... We're not ruining movies, but let's actually ruin this movie. So this wasn't first place, but this was second place. Train to Busan musical. Let's just entertain this idea for a couple minutes, and we'll get out of here. What would a Train to Busan musical look like?
You brought it up.
All right, so I think You use the train carts as settings, as set pieces.
You had an idea already.
Dude, I love musicals. I like musicals. And as each cart goes through, because if it's a musical, obviously it has to be more like theatrical, like the set pieces have to be less realistic and more fantastical. Like as like the singing happens as they go from train to train in different set pieces, and you can even do more allegorical, like maybe the stages of grief, each one they're singing, and then they're like
the 7 deadly sins.
Yeah, or something like that. Or like, because then the hero's journey isn't like this beautiful thing in Train to Busan. They're singing about it. It's again the opposite of what we talked about, Train to Busan really not needing the exposition or the context out of their mouth, because they'd be singing about everything. So, and I just want zombies snapping their fingers, chasing them down the train, kind of like.
So my question, I guess, is would you really have a lot of lyrics, or would you just have them doing these zany things like in sequence?
Like Cats?
Yeah, like less lyrics, more just like awesome like
dance
music and
dance.
Yeah,
like, I think dance.
Have, like, the snaps, maybe some like woo.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think there'd be more singing when people die from being bit by a zombie. They have like the red confetti shoot out of them, like
wah, 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 wah.
And similar to Cats, but not like Cats the movie, like the Cats stuff like musical where everyone's like dressed as cats. I think that's how you do the Train to Busan musical. Anything else to say? I think we've said a lot about this movie.
I haven't said it all.
All right, well, that was this week of ruining movies with Zach and Shayne. That's not the full title; it's just ruining movies. But I like
ruining movies. Parentheses. Fuck it, we'll do it live. / with Zach and Shayne. 3 exclamation marks, 2 question marks. XX93X.
Yeah, and it's all in quotations. But anyway, that's the end of the episode, everybody. So this is the time, Shayne. What is the next week's movie?
Oh, I think we're gonna do The Devil All the Time.
Nice. That is a movie that I've not seen, but I want to.
I had a bit of a big toss up in my head there between that and a couple other things, but I think we're gonna watch this one because it's a good one.
Okay.
It's kind of long, but it's good.
That's fine. I was going to recommend 7 Samurais, which is like 4 hours long, so I'm okay with doing a long movie. But yeah, I'm excited. I've not seen this movie, but I am excited to watch it.
So I'll ask afterwards, and not on official recording podcast time.
Okay. All right. So let's do some plugs and let's get out of here. Shayne, start us off.
My plug. You can catch me live at twitch.tv/bringtheshayne. I play lots of video games. It's a variety channel. I do a lot of shit. We have a lot of fun. We hang out. We do cool stuff. We play dummy games on Tuesday, and we record this podcast. And it's a real beautiful time. Come join us in the fun.
Hell yeah.
Also, I have another podcast. The Dnd Podcast that I'm sure Zach's about to tell you about.
Yeah, so you can find me first at twitch.tv/farmgoat. That is where I am currently live and talking to all you beautiful people. You can also go to my YouTube page where this podcast will be until I can get it out on different mediums, different platforms. But that is at Farmgoat Plays. So you can go there. You can see gameplay from Twitch. You can see I've started recording Dark Souls. That is only going to be footage from YouTube, so that's not me playing that on Twitch. And you can also go check out my other YouTube page called Farmgoat Says, which is, if you like our discussion of movies here, I kind of get a little bit more in depth on things and on that channel. And I also talk about tabletop role-playing games there, so go check that out. Also, go give that a follow. And then Shayne and I have another podcast called A Survival Check. It is a D&D unofficial guide to the monster manual of 5th edition. So if you want to hear us talk about the monsters like centaurs,
want to hear us?
Yes, you do. We're very funny on that. I can say that
we are here.
Right? Yeah, we're pretty like we're still funny and idiots on this show, but good idiots. But we are much more loose on that show, which is surprising because that show has more structure than this show.
Honestly, I've always felt the opposite. I always felt I was way more loose on this show. Yeah, but I think you're kind of right, and I think that has a lot to do with like the nature of the beast, right? Like I've loved film for my entire life. I've loved D&D for about 5 years.
That's the thing, yeah. I think this podcast, because we both do love film and we have like actual sincere takes on it. Like I don't give sincere takes on the monsters. Well, I do, but it's not like, wow, the centaur is this allegory for this. I love it so much because of this reasoning, and let me back it up with all these facts.
Crawlers.
Yeah. No, I'm just like, wow, that's a whole. I wonder how many centaurs can ride on each other. Like how many? Like that's that question that gets asked on that podcast, or like.
That's a really good point. Yeah, I think that's probably the funnier podcast.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So go check that out. You can find that on Spotify and everywhere except iTunes. And that's about it. You can find, if you enjoyed this podcast and want to participate live and join the discussion during the podcast, sometimes we'll let the audience ask questions, or maybe you have something to add to when we're remaking the movie, or you want to vote on the type of movie you want us to create at the end of the episode. You can catch us live on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern. Come join either of our chats and join the discussion with us. It's a blast. And that's about it. We also play video games after, like we're about to go play Portal 2, which just had an update in 2020.
Oh, I thought we were playing Escape from Tarkov.
Oh, shit. I thought we were playing RimWorld. Anyway, that is it. I want to say as always, because this is how I end everything else, but I don't think I've done this. But because this is a movie podcast, as always, be excellent to each other, everyone. We'll see you next week as we talk about... The devil of all the what?
The devil all the time.
Devil all the time. Starring Tom Holland and Jake Gyllenhaal, right?
No, Jake Gyllenhaal's not in it. Don't listen to him.
Does he just produce? Oh, he just produced it. Yeah, we'll talk about that next week. We'll probably have some more hot takes on whatever fucking news pops up in the next week. It's probably if something else happens with Zack Snyder the next week. I'm gonna throw my face into a window.
It's gonna be Zack Snyder, Disney, Marvel. It's gonna be the same news and maybe cool shit.
Maybe I'll go out of my way and like try to find more indie news next week, just so we don't talk about those. It's hard.
I might just watch Coming to America so that I can have a real take on it.
Yeah, maybe I'll watch that too. I'll watch Coming to America. I'll have a real take on it, and I will have a real take. Okay, actually, we'll talk about Coming to America and WandaVision next week.
For sure, yeah.
We'll actually not just speculate and just yell stuff out into the void. We'll actually have...
We'll have answers.
We'll have answers. But that's it, everyone. I've talked enough. The cool guitar music's probably playing behind us at this point. So, yeah, so... We're out of here. Bye, everyone.
And cut.
You can catch this podcast on all places. No, I'm kidding. And cut, yes. Oh, my God.